welcome to Interview 24. As you know, the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan signed a special decree on measures of improving popularization of learning foreign language. So what is the content of this decree and what is the global context of initiating it? Today, we are going to have a conversation with Sardar Usmanov, advisor to Minister of Higher and Secondary Specialized Education and head of the Information Service. Good day, Mr. Usmanov. From very outset, the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan has defined teaching foreign language as one of the essential pillars to our country's language policy. And some days ago, he signed the special decree on measures of improving popularization of learning foreign language. So what do you think, what is the objective of this decree?
It pursues mainly three goals. The first is to qualify learning and teaching foreign languages as one of the important pillars of our country's language policy, attract as more qualified teachers, personnel to the process as possible. And the third aspect is to increase motivation of our people for learning foreign languages.
And what are priority tasks outlined in the decree?
The basic priority task here is to popularize learning foreign languages at every stage of education. Then we need to create necessary institutional, intellectual conditions for learning foreign languages. The next task concerns curriculum development, bringing internationally recognized academic curricula, textbooks into our education process. You know that choosing a relevant academic curriculum is half of the quality education process. Today, we are living in a digital age which has its own requirements. That's why contemporary curricula textbooks should be based both on traditional and online resources. Otherwise, we will miss the opportunities presented by the digital age.
So according to the decree, what requirements will be posed for students, academic researchers, and even officials?
Starting from the 2021-2022, there will be special requirements for school leavers and for those who are entering universities. There will be special requirements posed to master students and to PhD researchers beginning from the academic year 2022-23. For example, if it's a candidate for a master program in a foreign languages majoring university, he should know the language at least at the level of C1 of the national certificate. If he is going to enter the university or PhD program of non-foreign language specialization, he needs at least B2. There are also requirements for public service officials. Our president is encouraging that every representative of our government, of our national agencies should know at least one or two foreign languages. And it will be one of the important skill requirements to be enrolled and for their career promotion. We have a very interesting intellectual change. We call it continuous learning chain. Kindergarten, school, university and enterprise. So the president of Uzbekistan encourages all our countrymen to learn foreign languages at a high level at every stage of this logical chain. A new agency on popularizing learning foreign languages will be created, attached to the Cabinet of Ministers of the Republic of Uzbekistan.
Excellent. What about the functions and tasks of the agency? Can you specify it?
In general terms, the agency will be in charge of popularizing foreign languages, creating important conditions, institutional, intellectual conditions, media conditions for learning foreign languages. Then it will be in charge of encouraging learning foreign languages at every level of education.
What about the role of universities or institutes of the Republic for popularize learning foreign language?
The universities of our country will have to reshape, reposition themselves. They have to reframe their vision of learning and teaching foreign language. They have to adapt to the new requirements, because it's very important that the curriculum, the education process, be carried on in several foreign languages: English, French, German, Asian languages, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, and many more. It means that you will be able to construct a bridge of communication to those countries in their own languages. That's why the curriculum should be adapted to the language requirements. You should be always ahead of the global trends and implement them at the local level. My advice for university professors, students, first of all, you should be well aware of the benefits of learning foreign languages. Then you should keep updated about the changes at the global, regional level. You should know what kind of digital innovations you are facing in the nearest future and adjust your curriculum, adjust your everyday time management to those requirements. Otherwise, you will not be able to win the global competition of intellectual, of digital age. And it's very important that the Uzbek society be transformed into the language proficient society, encouraged by our president in his decrees.
So what can we say about the changing global trends in terms of international language?
Let's start with the assumption that our world is today globalizing, increasingly globalizing. And how should we navigate through globalization? How should we cope with its information? The best way is through knowing this information, through understanding this information in their original languages. That's why one of the important traits, aspects of globalization is bilingualism or multilingualism. And here it is one of the very important world skills which everyone should know in the 21st century. Let's start with English language, its position on the global level. You know, it's the language of international trade, diplomacy, international communications, world mass media, academic science. Let's make reference to some statistical data. In 2021, there were approximately 1.5 billion people speaking English as their first or second foreign language. It shows that the role is really globalized. Of them, less than 400 million speak it as their first language. It means that over 1 billion people speak English as their second language.
What about the status of other languages like Chinese, Spanish, Italian?
Really, these are very dynamically developing languages. For example, let's take Chinese, in particular traditional Chinese. Today, traditional Chinese language is spoken by at least 1.3 billion people, which make up 16% of the global population. Look at this table, please. Chinese even exceeds English in terms of first language speakers. So it is also second in terms of internet users. Spanish is one of the greatest languages of the global landscape today. It is a global language with nearly 500 million people, mainly in Spain and in both Americas. And the interest in this language is also growing in our country year by year.
You mentioned about bilingualism and multilingualism, yeah? So what kind of benefits will bilingualism or multilingualism give to our people?
If our young people, if our scientists have direct access to these languages, they will be able to understand research, innovations made in these languages directly in their original forms. That's why it's very important to popularize other foreign languages in our country. First of all, let's start with the assumption that learning several foreign languages increases your career development chances. Today, many companies of the world, local, international, they prefer to hire those people who know several foreign languages. Of course, we should not reduce skills required by companies only to the knowledge of languages, but it gives you great stakes, it gives you great advantages, and you get even more competitive. Knowing several foreign languages, multilingualism is important in terms of your communication skills, in terms of your relation-building strategies. Besides that, multilingualism is one of the indicators of your general intellectual development. It gives you enormous opportunities at the world level.
Que ha puesto en el centro de la paz la protección de los derechos humanos, en especial de las víctimas.
Le gouvernement haïtien souscrit aux modalités selon lesquelles s'opérera la transition, notamment
партнеров для того, чтобы направить переговорный процесс под руководством ООН. تصرف بشكل موحد لتفادي أزمة إقليمية.
How can we help the millions of people atrapadas em conflictos? e que sofre enormemente em guerras que parecem não ter fim.
61 del Consejo de Seguridad.
Let's recall some interesting cases from world history. For example, the UN Secretary General, Boutros Ghali, who held the office in 1992-1996, was multilingual. Of course, there were many considerations for electing him as Secretary General, but one of the very interesting cases is that he knew perfect French, English as well, Arabic, world languages of the United Nations. You know, the United Nations Security Council permanent members should vote unanimously for the candidate, and France vetoed other candidates and voted for Boutros Ghali. In many cases, due to the fact that he knew French and, of course, had extensive diplomatic experience.
So what do you think, how we can motivate our young people to learn more than 2 languages?
You know, there is an interesting phrase, language proficiency society. If you look through the decrees adopted by our president, his speeches, his calls, you see that he is encouraging us to become a language proficient society with at least knowledge of 2 foreign languages, and of course better even more. First of all, we need to explain our young people the benefits of learning foreign languages in terms of career development, intellectual development. Then we need to create necessary conditions, facilitate them the conditions of learning foreign languages. It's a challenging task. It needs investments, both in terms of resources, time, motivation, but it is worth of our attention, and it will bring us great results in the long term. Today, excellent conditions are created for our young people. Most of them are of technological nature. For example, the site which hosts our event today, the ZIO Forum, it's an excellent and a comfortable environment for learning foreign languages, for knowing ITs, and for networking with their colleagues. It's a very important case.
So, Mr. Usmanov, thank you for your full information about the decree and concerning field of foreign language.
That's my pleasure.
Thanks for watching. We have discussed one of the topical issues of the day. So, knowing foreign language will take us deeper into globalization, which is extremely important for Uzbekistan, showing openness to the world.